Press Your Luck was a 19...
You got to know the rules of the show to understand how he found the glitch. Here we go.
80s reboot of a short-lived game show called Second Chance that aired for a few months on ABC in 1977. That game was retooled by creators Bill Carruthers and Jan McCormack and transferred into Press Your Luck, which made its way onto the CBS network daytime schedule in the fall of 1983-1986. The show was a fun mix of trivia questions, a high-tech game board, lots of cash, prizes, and a cartoon creature known as the Whammy. Contestants had to answer the trivia questions to earn spins on the game board, where they could win the cash and the prizes. But if they...
I wonder what the question is. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh, who did that one? That's great. Who had that sound effect?
I got the Whammy here.
Not me.
That's awesome.
Oh, do nice. You? Yeah. Oh no, I got the Family Feud one.
Okay. Bring Tommy Morrison's wife on so we can hit both buttons over and over.
Oh, there's prices right too. Yay.
Oh, I love the Whammy sound.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to incorporate that. We're gonna have to make that a regular. I like that a lot.
That's so good.
What's funny here is this is from I believe this section here is, well, I mean, just from the show ran from 83 to 86, I believe they said. It's just funny to see these three lined up.
Oh, I know the question.
Lined up.
Who's going to lose their dick in the future?
That's it.
Who's a woman now?
Which one of these people doesn't exist or is being dead named?
Oh, that's funny. That's hilarious. Oh, I love that sound. Give me another one of those, Corner. Oh, I love.
We're back memories.
Oh, we're gonna have to use that.
Ooh,
nice.
Whenever we hear like something that's bullshit, I want to hear a Whammy sound. That's what we're gonna do. That's how we're gonna use it. God, all of these are like unlocking parts of my brain.
I feel like that's Ray's inner monologue.
All right.
They landed on a Whammy, he would wipe out everything they had accumulated. Now, at this point of their early 80s, big prizes and cash winnings in a daytime game show were usually around about $10,000. On rare occasions, someone would win upwards of $25,000 or $30,000, but that was very rare. And to win amounts like $40,000 or $50,000 in cash would just never happen.
Two Whammies just stole my truck.
Okay, all right, hold on. All right, so Hamhead just made a suggestion. I kind of like it. Hold on, let me get prepared here. Okay, because he donated so many memberships, I think he deserves it. All right, Corndiff, give me a Whammy sound.
No, what you got to do is you do the fart, then the whammy, because that's when you realize it wasn't just a fart.
Okay, all right, we like that. But we'll save it for later, though.
Yeah, of course.
A bonus round, spin round. The question and answer round, you earned spins on our big bonus board. And there was a question and answer round, and then the first round on the board, and the second question round, and then the final spin round. So you earned spins by answering questions correctly, and then you went to the board and earned prizes, money.
Stop at 1,250.
Or you landed on the Whammy.
Stop.
I'll be honest, hearing all of this while I was doing research for this show, I don't remember anything about trivia. I really thought it was a speed, like a hand-to-hand-eye coordination speed test. I didn't know there was any questions. At least I didn't remember it. But yeah.
Stop at a Whammy.
And he took all your money and prizes away.
I also have to understand that in the early 80s, the Press Your Luck big board was a huge deal. Bringing a computer into the gameplay to generate a random pattern or sequence was so a novel thing for a TV game show. Looking back on it now, it might seem rather primitive, but at the time, I promise you, it was high-tech stuff. So the Press Your Luck big board worked like this. There were 18 spaces on the board that looked like a frame on the TV screen with the contestant placed in the middle for the viewers at home. Each of those spaces had different cash amounts, various prizes, or a whammy cycling through the inside of the space, while lights would move in a pattern on the board around the different spaces until a contestant stopped the light pattern by pressing a button. At first glance, those light patterns appeared to be random, with a chance of a contestant hitting a whammy being 1 in 6 spins. but
Thank you, Big Daddy Toto, for the $1.99. Fuck that whammy. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Thank
Yes,
you very
whammy
much.
sex.
Whammy AIDS.
but those light patterns weren't as
Wham
random
AIDS.
as viewers were led to believe. When the game was being put together, producers and network executives decided that there only needed to be 5 light patterns. They couldn't dream of a reason why they would need more than that.
The game board.
Okay, so I just want to repeat this because this is giving context for the story, is that they had patterns that were all each had their own switch to be activated when the lights would go around the prize numbers in the square. And while they came up originally with I think 30 different patterns, the executives said, that's too much work. Let's just narrow it down to 5. And so there were only 5 repeating patterns. So at any given time when someone was trying to hit that buzzer, it would be one of only 5 patterns going, appearing to be random. Does that make sense to everybody? All right.
Yep. Yep. I thought it was way more patterns than that,
Yeah.
for sure. That's news to me.
The thing was, each one was controlled by a button, and we're going to see the buttons. So it was random as far as the 5 are concerned, but it was only 5, and and all 5 were very, very simple.
So I imagine after a short bit of seeing the pattern that's in front of you, he would recognize which pattern is being shown.
He studied, honestly, yes, and so he basically watched for a period of 6 months, watched every day, and figured it out. Where he was like, "Okay, so I get that it's random, but it's always the 5 same patterns, regardless of them being random." So all he had to do was identify which pattern it was, and he would be able to predict where the light was going to land. So,
I don't think this is a verb, but he pretty much autistic his way to the bank.
Yes.
no,
100%.
yeah, can't argue with that.
I don't think
dude, it's-
autistic is a verb, but it is now.
he
So-
autised his way.
He tismed his way. He tismed
Yeah, there you
his
go,
way to the
there you go.
bank.
Yeah, that's it. He tismed his way to the top. And dude, that's 6 months. He spent 6 months and for 110,000. So that's
110,000
probably-
in 1984.
Right. So
Yeah.
I would guess that's probably $500,000 now.
It
or
is. We're
close
going to see
to.
the number. It's three and some change, 340, something like that.
Still, that's
Okay.
Still a lot and worth. That's worth a 6-month investment.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
yeah, yeah.
He spent all that time, hours a day, putting together his, portfolio of patterns, and he made it pay out. And I blame the game show for that. They didn't put the effort in.
That's it. I mean, there's really no one else to blame. Someone figured out how to win and win legitimately, because also there was the trivia portion. You have to get past the trivia portion also. So basically, the only way you could win this game is if you played and abided by the rules that were set by the network. And I got to say, the reason that we're going to call him a con man is, you'll see a little bit later, he just has a history before and after the show. But the show itself was an impressive, honest way to make money, in my opinion. So.
This makes me think of from White Men Can't Jump, when Rosie Perez learns all the questions.
Oh yeah.
She's like,
Yeah.
what is Malsuvius? And the guy's like, you mean Mount Vesuvius? Judges. And she's like, all right, whatever. And then she got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so good. That was one of my favorite movies.
No, no. Hold on. Red Rooster, not 6 months for knowing patterns. He studied the patterns for 6 months. On TV, watching it apparently incessantly and recording them. And
You mentioned earlier that he was unemployed, so yeah, he was just watching TV all
Right.
the time.
Yeah. So here we go. You know what, guys? I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick, so I'm gonna let this play out. So give me a minute, but I'm
Take
gonna
the
let
pee,
this
Mike.
Treat yourself.
go. Vamp.
as I understand it, had a limited number of patterns, and they ran the same patterns over and over again.
That was a problem for the producers, who felt that such a small number of patterns may prove to be the board's Achilles heel.
I said, we can't go with 6. So we had a meeting about a week later with the head of the network, daytime head, Mike Brockman.
So this issue was discussed,
Name
and it was
dropper.
then agreed at the outset to reduce the frequency of the light patterns, thinking that it would be safe and that there would be no risk involved in doing that. Obviously, we were wrong.
Obviously, we were. That's so crazy.
Wow. So 5 patterns. Do you think they fired the guy who made the call to get rid of the other 25 patterns?
Yeah, it's just.
Or did the show actually?
crazy.
Did the show end after like all this happened?
I guarantee you, it took a fucking
I was
chunk out
once
of their
asked a
budget.
question.
That's for
No,
sure.
About whether
I
Michael
think this
was a
happened in
lovable loser.
84, and I think the show
And I
ended
think
in
I told the
86.
person yes.
86? Okay.
And in reflection upon
believe
that,
that's
I
what
would
I
have
heard.
to say no. I just
Look at
think
that
he was a
sinister
person
face.
that was doomed to self-destruction because of
like he's
his
cupping a
desire to
fart.
make money as quickly as he could.
He's waiting to hit you in the nostrils with it.
We need sponsors so that we can have commercial breaks. Any sponsors out there watching the show, please hit me up so that we can have pee breaks. Commercial pee breaks.
Me undies. Hit him up.
Oh, yeah, there you go. All right. Oh, good. I'm just in time. Yeah, here we go. We're going to talk a little bit about Michael Larson's backstory.
You know, Luigi, while
Yes.
you were peeing, did you realize that you need a manscape?
Please tell me more. There's got to be a better way.
No, yes, well, with the Manscaped 4.0, it sure shaves this
Yeah.
baby.
I'm a
It's
hairy
waterproof,
man.
so you can take care of it in the mall.
My wife constantly complains about my hairy nutsack. Will this help me?
My wife hates Christmas tinsel balls. Now that I have the Manscaped 4.0,
Christmas tinsel balls. Sadly, I know exactly what that means without having it explained to me.
Yeah, the pleasures of being a dude sometimes, right?
if I don't see a screen name of Christmas tinsel balls, I'm going to be highly upset.
Christmas tinsel balls. God, and it's like I know exactly what that means. No need to even talk about it. Like I once told a friend who had never heard the word batwing before. I was like, "Oh God, I got batwing," and he just burst out laughing. I was like, "Have you never heard that?" He goes, "No, but I know what it means, obviously." So, anyway, all right. So yeah, I got here just in time. We're going to talk a little bit about Michael Larson's backstory and why I believe he was a good subject for this show.
Michael Larson was an Ohio boy born in 1949. One of 4 brothers, he soon made it clear he was not like the other boys.
I one time told somebody that my brother's life would be like a soap opera, except it was real. And
As soon as he says not like the other boys, I don't know why my mind just went to Monster Rain. That's exactly where my brain goes. He wasn't like the other boys. Monster Rain! Anyway.
He's got the head from Alien Nation. Remember that show?
Yes!
Oh my god, dude! They
Look
drank
at
the
his head.
chunky sour milk.
Yeah, yeah.
I do remember that.
But look
Yes.
at the head.
Yeah.
Oh, that was ahead of its time. Dudes would get pregnant in that show. That was
Such an
crazy.
underrated movie. Such an underrated movie.
I remember the show more than the movie, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
It's always on rerun. Over
The
here.
movie had James Caan.
God, I should watch that.
Oh, it had, and General Zod played the main bad guy. I remember that.
And if you wanted to write a story about somebody's life and how really strange and turns of events that took place, his life would be it. I mean, it would be the masterpiece.
Michael Larson was born on May 10th, 1949 in Ohio, USA. While he was intelligent and determined, Michael demonstrated from a young age an eagerness to underhandedly make
Okay. This is too good. Dang Lizard.
That's
fantastic.
awesome, Dang. Great job, Dang.
This is
it
fucking
right there.
fantastic. Bravo.
Rob fucking O.
Thank you, Dang Lizard. Yes, an HIV conspiracy theorist is trying to dox me. Has this happened to you? Try NordVPN.
That's amazing.
Amazing. Oh yeah. Latanya Vegas knows Detective Sam Francisco. Yes, that was Mandy Patinkin's character in Alien Nation.
Oh, he was in that movie too?
He was Mandy Patinkin was the alien and James Caan was the human, and they were both police officers and they were partners. And
yeah,
man, I watched that movie a lot as a kid, and I'm sitting here just thinking about it. Why did my parents let me watch that movie? That was not a age-appropriate movie to watch. I guess it was better than watching RoboCop, but for a kid, I mean, I love RoboCop. Oh, you know what? If no one knows this, my YouTube profile pic and also my ex profile pic was what I got when I put into an AI image generator RoboCop as a werewolf. And it generated two separate images in an 80s theme. One that looks like a T-800 Terminator and a wolf next to it. And I just loved it. I loved it so much, and that's been my profile pic.
In middle school, he'd smuggle candy bars to class and sell them for double the price. This style stayed with him throughout his life. As he grew up, he'd constantly be looking for some way to game the system.
He's arrested 3 times between 1969 and 1982 by the Lebanon and Dayton police departments for receiving and concealing stolen property, larceny by trick, and petty theft.
So essentially...
Wait.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Luigi. I was going to say larceny by trick.
Yes, larceny by trick. Basically, what's the word? Like, if you tell somebody that you represent like a company, it could be an issue. Like if you say, I work for Home Depot or something like that, and they give you, that's a bad example, a repairman. There we go. I'm a TV repairman. Let me have your TV. And I'll repair it and I'll get it back to you, and then you sell it. So it's basically if you can entice someone else to give you something of their free will under false pretenses, is larceny by trick. But this is the issue, is that ultimately what we're going to learn is that Michael Lawrence, even though apparently was smart, he was apparently intelligent, and he was apparently able to work, he was always looking for shortcuts, even if it meant skirting the law. So what's interesting about this story is that he's a con man. He is essentially a con man. We're going to learn about some of the cons he tried to pull, but his effort in trying to learn press your luck was right in line with his typical scam, his typical, his typical con, his grifts. But it doesn't rise to the level of cheating or criminal. It's kind of I don't know. It's a little bit of an anomaly. It's a little bit of a conundrum in that he used all of his grifting skills to do something honest and completely legitimate within the rules that were set for him. But the only reason he did it was because he was such a great con artist. So it's a little bit of a dichotomy there. And that's why I find this interesting. Here you go.
Once, he found a bank that offered $500 for opening a new checking account, so he opened a bunch under fake names. Another time, he registered a business under a family member's name, hired himself, which I suppose is technically a form of nepotism, and then fired himself so he could get unemployment benefits.
So those, I gotta admit, are two pretty brilliant scams.
That's fucking genius.
He's obviously smart, and
then he could have sued for like unlawful termination.
but he's just not honest about it. And that's what's crazy is that I've always said, like, you know, if a good con man would just put his efforts into something legitimate, you know, he could probably still get the same amount of money. This is pretty. Go ahead.
You would like for that to happen, but it's I don't know. It's a tinkerer's brain kind of. He's like reverse engineering the system to figure out how he can get around it. And the thing needs to exist already. You know what I mean? Like, if you give me something and tell me to figure out how to break it, I think I would be all right with that. You know what I mean? Like that's what you would give him. You would propose this guy your idea. Break this for me, so that way it doesn't happen again.
You know what he'd be great at is if he was in software, and if we gave him like a software and said, tell us how a hacker might try to break into our software, and he'd be like, okay, yeah, and like he's obviously smart. These are really smart scams. Hey. Rumple Trenchcoat. Even those who are pure of heart and say their prayers by night become RoboCop when the wolf bane blooms and the moon is shining bright. Nice. My God, I need that stitched into something, into a pillow.
Yeah, that's like the that Stallone movie where he like broke into the prisons that he would design to break, and then like he got stuck in the prison with him and Schwarzenegger.
Oh yeah, what was the name of that? They had the metallic boots.
Escape Plan.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah, you know, there's like 4 of them, and like 50 Cent was like in the last few of them with him. It was like Schwarzenegger was like, "Fuck you, I'm out" after the first one, and it was like Stallone and 50 Cent for the next couple.
Yeah.
Oh,
Schwarzenegger decided it wasn't worth his time.
Yeah.
Red Rooster is saying that I'm trying to make him look bad. No. He was a criminal. But the game show aspect of his life was perfectly legit. He utilized his skills as a con man to do something completely within the rules that were set forth for him. It is brilliant.
I almost view it more like I think he was looking for the con. He was looking for a way to con.
Yes.
Like if the solution that would have got him the win had been less legitimate, it wouldn't have stopped him. It just I think he stumbled onto while looking for his
shortcut.
While looking for his con, he stumbled onto a loophole, a flaw in their computerized system.
That's it.
Yep.
That sums it up perfectly. But he was in fact looking for a con. And that that says it exactly. He was looking for a shortcut or a con or a grift, and he stumbled upon something that no one else had figured out. And he did it, and make no mistake, I don't mind spoiling this part, he got a check from the network because he played the game according to the rules, and they couldn't argue it. They tried, but apparently their lawyers were like, no, you got to pay this guy. He didn't do anything wrong.
We will control all that you see and hear. I want my planet back. I want my planet back. I want my planet back.
That's right, it sucks.